guys, it's Julian. Thanks for watching. Today's video I'm going to be talking about something I think is super beneficial, especially since it has to do with something that everybody could use to handle things on a day-to-day lives, and that's the experience process and what it is. The experience process is how we go about our lives and how we interpret meanings and thoughts and emotions to certain things that come up in our lives. So as we all know, our thoughts have a direct effect on our emotions, and our emotions have a direct effect on our thoughts. And as humans, because of the size of the neocortex, which is the front lobe of the brain, it allows us to create thought consciously and the emotions that we want consciously. It's no longer something that's out of our control. So that's very important to understand, because that's ultimately going to be the key on how you change an experience and what those experiences mean to you on a day-to-day life. So there's 4 things that you need for an experience. You need first a stimulus, which is a picture, a sound, an image, or a taste, or anything that comes up in your lives. That's from the outside, the external. The second part is you put a meaning or an interpretation to that stimulus. So whether that stimulus be your alarm clock or a dog barking first thing in the morning, you automatically are going to apply a meaning to it. And this happens so fast, it's done unconsciously. You're not even aware of this is happening in your brain. So that's the second part. You apply a meaning or an interpretation to that stimulus. The third part is going to be the feeling and emotion that you associate with that stimulus. Of course, that's going to be key, because if you're having a negative feeling, let's say you hear the alarm clock and you automatically put an interpretation or a meaning that, great, now I got to get up and get ready to go to the job that I don't want to go to. Well, if you're already thinking that, do you think your emotions and what you're feeling is going to be a positive one? No, definitely not. So because you're feeling a negative emotion or thought, that's going to start to create your behavior and your reaction, which is a 4th key concept to a process. And that's going to be the last one. That one's huge, because that's when it starts affecting the people around you and the places you go, and ultimately your everyday life. So it's very important to understand those and how you could change it, because now that you know that, you're able to go back and see what is the stimulus in your lives, whether that be an alarm clock for you or your baby waking up at 3 in the morning. It could be anything. The next thing you gotta watch out for is, what meaning are you applying to that stimulus? Is it good or bad? Is it something you should change or something you should keep? Then after you do that, you got to notice the emotions that come with that meeting. Are these emotions negative? Are the feelings that I'm feeling, are those negative feelings? Once you realize that, then you're able to change that part, which ultimately changes the last thing in the process, which is your behavior and your reaction. You're no longer reacting to things in a negative way because you assigned a different meaning to it, and you did this all consciously. It's not something that's out of your control. It's very important to understand this and go through your lives realizing when this is going on, because the more you do this unconsciously, you start to fall into this automatic state of living, which is going to be hard in the future to change certain thoughts, patterns, emotions that come up in your life. So I really hope you guys use this and apply it to your own lives. Next time something comes up and you're starting to feel angry about it, or something comes up and you feel sad about it, always remember what you're applying as a meaning, or what feeling or emotion is coming up with that, so you could immediately change. I love it when I hear people say, oh, it's going to take forever to change. It doesn't take forever to change. What I've learned in everything that I've studied and the people I've worked with, change is instant. It takes 1 second to decide that you're never going to do the same thing over and over again, and hopefully you guys could do that and apply it to your own life. So until next time, guys, always remember who you are and what you stand for.